make them more personalized, make people feel like I have a whole experience opening up my purchase. I think that's what makes small businesses so unique. Hello everyone, welcome back to Poised with Purpose Co. and welcome to the 2024 journal collection video. I've been teasing these collections over the past couple of months and I'm super excited to finally be sharing them with all of you. And before we get into sharing the journal collections and the jewelry collection, let me just add these photos in before I hear anyone in the comments talking about, this is different for you. I've never seen you wear this before. I've always been into super feminine, classy, vintage, girly styles. Just putting that disclaimer out there. But like I said in my prior video with my dance background, there is an upsurge in ballerina core, balletcore, Pilates princess, hyper femininity, all those things. And for those of us who have always been extremely feminine, this is not new for us. You may have already seen my YouTube shorts where I put a teaser up. I'll make sure to link that. I have two new collections that I'd like to share. I have had the pattern and everything. I had the journals designed. I had what I wanted to go into the interior designed as well. And I just finally decided it is time to release them. So this is the Bloom Darling journal. I will make sure to have close-ups of what the inside looks like, the front and the back cover. Of course, I wanted to incorporate my color that is throughout all of my branding. And then there are florals and gold. And of course, I always have flowers and gold in my backdrop, in my branding. So I thought that was very important. If you're unfamiliar with Poised with Purpose Co. and the mission for Poised with Purpose Co., everything I do has to reflect my faith in Jesus. Everything I do reflects my relationship with the Lord. So with this journal, it is the Bloom Darling journal. And if you know where Bloom Darling came from, or if you don't, I'll put it on the screen. I have a poem called Bloom Darling that I created back in 2020. I had some cards, and then I wanted to go ahead and take that and put it into a journal, but I didn't want to reuse that design. So what I did was I added it to the journal. Bloom Darling is hidden within the gold part of the journal. And with the inside, it says Bible verses to memorize. You write the verse and then the date you recorded it. Now, if you are a proactive journaler like myself, you write the date on all of your entries. And I like to go back and see where I was at that time, when the date was, the time period, that kind of thing. And with memorizing the Bible verses, sometimes it's nice to remember, oh, this was on January 15th when I memorized Deuteronomy 2 or something like that. So that's pretty cool. And so I wanted to incorporate that into the journals. Of course, it's very feminine, very girly, very floral. And I think this would be a perfect journal as a Valentine's Day gift, something for your best friend, your sister, gifts for her. And I just think it's really pretty. I mean, I know I designed it, so I'm very biased. Personally, I've been waiting to launch this in particular journal for over a year and a half, and now that it's finally out, I just keep looking at it like this is one of my favorite designs I have ever done with any of my journal launches. To tie into both collections, I also have new business cards, which you may or may not have seen on my shorts. I always include business cards with all of my orders and any PR that I'm sending out. I always include my business cards. So I really wanted to be more cohesive with these business cards, to update them to match all of my platforms from Pinterest to YouTube so that they all are cohesive. So when you see it, you know, oh, that's Poised with Purpose Co. I also have stickers to go along with the journals that I will be using in both collections. And of course, as you may remember in my Soft Lady Living video, which I will be sure to link as well, I always like to have thank you cards. I think it is so important to personalize your thank you cards and just to really sincerely thank those that are supporting your small business. I mean, it's really nice to get a card that someone took the time to write out to you. I'm very, very passionate about that. And so with this one, I also just created a thank you card that matches those journals that are cohesive with both collections. It's appealing to people, but also it's a keepsake. I like to have things that people will want to keep into their scrapbook or into their journals, or, you know, I like to make them more personalized, make people feel like I have a whole experience opening up my purchase. I think that's what makes small businesses so unique. And now, for the journals that I'm sure all of you have been waiting for, my Ballerinas Bows collection. These journals also come with jewelry pieces in the collection, which are sold separately on my Etsy shop. But in this collection, the Ballerinas Bows specifically, I have 3 different color variations for the Ballerinas Bows journal. Now, this one is extremely personal to me, not only because of being a dancer and ballet and of course Balletcore and everything. It's just the timing is kind of perfect for this, but also I don't professionally dance anymore, and I've always had this love for dance, for movement, for theater, all of that, and just for writing in general. And so there are so many of you that are dancers, that aspire to dance, that love journaling, that love girly, cutesy kinds of things like that. And I'd like to take a moment to sincerely thank my friend Michaela. I will have her Instagram and information in the description box below. She was the illustrator behind the black ballerina that you will see throughout these journals. If you remember my ballerina Christmas cards from, I believe, 2 years ago, this is the same illustration. I just knew that I wanted to reuse it for something, and I just didn't know what just yet. Each inside also matches each color variation, so each variation looks different. But the poem on the inside, written by me, says, "I'll pirouette around this heart of pure gold, revealing the stories of many untold. With dégagé and poise, we're reaching our goals, to share lovely inspiration, bringing light to lost souls." I actually wrote this poem randomly at work, and I used some of my favorite ballet terms and words, such as pirouette and dégagé, which you may have heard me discuss in my prior video, my dance video. I don't just want it to be a dance journal. I mean, I really wanted to have an uplifting message to it. And so with this, it's inspirational, it's encouraging, and it's talking about being the light, because as believers, we are the light of the world. As children of God, we are the light of the world. And so I just wanted to tie that into dance and use some of the vocabulary that dancers use. And you'll just be able to be reminded of reaching your goals and being inspirational, because each one of us has a purpose here, and each one of us can inspire people, no matter how big or large our platforms are or our communities. And so this one's very, very, very special to me, and I really hope that you all enjoy the journals and the collections. I chose these colors. I didn't do green because I already had my Bloom Darling collection, but I wanted to choose these colors because you typically see these shades of pink and white when you think of dance, or specifically when you think of ballerinas and ballet, the Nutcracker, etc. So I stuck with these colors. A limited collection on my Etsy shop, so once they're sold out, I'll have to restock them if I have requests and pre-orders. Speaking of pre-orders, I do have a pre-order for one of these. Someone already purchased my light pink journal, and I will show you all how I've wrapped that. I actually find it really significant within my business to make the packaging cohesive. I also discussed this in my Soft Lady Living video where I talked about that launch with my journals, that my packaging and my stickers and everything, I like to have it all match. And so I use the tissue paper color that matches the different branding shades in my palette for my brand. And then I've got different kinds of pink ribbon and my green ribbon to match it, adding stickers and just making it such an experience to open up. You know, I don't want anything to be random. Everything is very, very intentional. I would also like to take a second to shout out 2 people. One, I'd like to shout out my sister Ashley. My sister actually gave me this adorable teacup and plate. I would also like to shout out my friend Kat. I shouted her out in my Tea Darling None For Me video, which if you have not watched my etiquette series, I encourage you to check that out. I'm shouting her out because she gave this to me for my birthday last year, and it's teacups. It's super feminine, cottagecore. The very last thing that I want to share are the jewelry pieces. It actually took me a really long time to figure out how to make these bracelets, but it was a really fun time. I really love crafting. I've always really been into creating jewelry and crocheting and things like that. And there are 4 bracelets available and they're in different sizes. So if you want a bracelet, make sure that you read the description on Etsy to see what the length of the bracelet is, to see if it fits your wrist. Make sure you measure your wrist. I have very, very small wrists, so I know that the smaller sizes are what will fit me personally. If you have a bit of a larger wrist, you may want to go up with the larger sizes. There's 2 in the larger size and 2 in the smaller size. So this is an example of the smaller size bracelet compared to the larger size bracelet. Both pearls, just, one is smaller, one is larger. Each bracelet has different charms, so also be sure to check out and read what each charm is, because I don't want you to choose the wrong one if that's not what you want. I had a lot of fun creating these collections, and I had been on hiatus for some time. I don't think I'd launched a new collection since 2022 with my Soft Lady Living journals, and it was really exciting for me to be able to come back and share new collections, and I really hope that you enjoy them. I did restock my Soft Lady Living journal in pink. I moved the poem to the back of the journal instead of on the inside, so that's the only difference. I know many of you really, really love the pink and green versions, which I do have the green version as well. I only have 1 copy of the green version left, so if you're interested in this one, make sure you snag it off my Etsy shop. I also restocked my Oh So Poised journals. There are 4 copies of the Oh So Poised journals available, and 2 are in a muted mint green and the others are my normal mint green color. So you've got kind of a variety if you don't like the more vibrant green and you prefer more of a muted pastel. That's also available on my shop. Thank you so much for all of your support. Thank you so much for 500 subscribers on my channel. I wanted to make sure that I thanked you all for supporting my platform on here as well, because I haven't even acknowledged that really. But thank you so much for 500 subscribers. It was a goal of mine to hit that last year, and we did, so thank you so much. I also just thank you all for taking the time to even watch my videos, to support me on this platform, to leave a comment. That's wonderful, and I really do love engaging with all of you, especially now that I don't have Instagram or Facebook anymore, and many of you have known me on Instagram and came over to YouTube, so I just want to thank you so much for that as well. I hope that you love these collections as much as I do, and let me know below which one is your favorite if you're interested, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.